Munson with Munson Music. I'm going to talk about how you can play a song by Coldplay called Magic. And it starts off with this cool little bass line, and if you wanted to kind of follow those notes, you could start on the 9th fret on the A string, and then we'd slide that to 4th fret on the A, and then we go to 11th fret on the A string, and then we go to 7th fret on the A string. So we got kind of a 9, 9, 9, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then kind of 2 on the 4, and then 3 on the 11, and no 3, and no 3, and then kind of 2 on the 7. So it's kind of this 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2 idea. I actually kind of threw that kind of an F sharp, C sharp, and then G sharp, and then E. And if you wanted to, you could even kind of make that a bass line, actually, kind of by going for lower notes, if you kind of dig on that. Although there's some cool things that you could add to that note actually on the A string called thirds. If you wanted to kind of fill in a little bit more of the chord, you could kind of play 9th fret on the A string with 7 on the D string. And that could be a cool little idea. Kind of through that part, kind of playing an F sharp and an A note, and actually kind of through that part. And then when you go to the 4, you could kind of add in an E note on the D string. Kind of deal there, and then we kind of slide it up to 11th fret and kind of add in 9th on the D string for kind of a G sharp and a B note, and then for the 7 on the A string you could add in the G sharp note on the D string 6th fret. So kind of adding some D string notes to the A string bass line, so kind of 9 and 7, and then 4 and 2, and 11 and then 9, and then 7 and 6. Or if you wanted to, there's these cool little piano lines that kind of come in later where you could play open B, 2nd fret on the B, 2nd fret on the G, and then we go 3rd fret on the B, 2nd fret on the B, open B, and then that kind of comes back, kind of that O, 2, 2, but then we go to 4 on the D, and then 3, 2, O on the B string, and then you kind of hear where that changes to 1st fret on the G string twice, and then 4th fret on the D, 2nd fret on the D, and then 4th fret on the D string twice, and then 1st fret on the G. So you can kind of follow those notes if you wanted to in the piano part, or you could almost kind of put those together. I'm seeing something here, but you could do open to 2nd on the B string, 2nd on the G string with 2nd on the low E, and then open A for the 3 on the 2 on the B string, and then open B with 4th on the low E string for a G sharp note. And then we kind of do the open E for the open 2 to kind of start that over again. So 2 and 2, open A with the 3, 2, O with the 4. A little bit there, but I think that was kind of a cool kind of way to intro the tune. Or you could back it up with chords. And actually this is kind of cool because the bass player is actually playing a lot of notes that are part of the chord but not what we call the root of the chord. So on the F sharp note on the that we're kind of playing for our bass line to start off with, we'd actually use a D major chord. When we play D major, first finger goes to the G on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the high E 2nd fret, and 3rd finger on the B string 3rd fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D major chord that sounds really happy. Now while you're on Ds in general, it can be kind of cool to lift off the 2nd finger, make that a D suspended 2nd. Or you could add in the pinky on the high E and make it a D sus and kind of say some things around the D. Or if you want to try and bring out that bass line, you could kind of take the thumb, that's one way, and kind of put it over the low E string on the 2nd fret for something called a D slash F sharp, or D major with an F sharp in the bass. And you can also readjust the fingers for that and do 1st finger on the low E 2nd, 2nd finger on the G 2nd, 3rd finger on the high E 2nd, pinky on the B string 3rd, and kind of work that for the D slash F sharp. And then for that C sharp note, we'd actually be playing an A major chord. We'd play A major. 1st finger goes to the D on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the G 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the B string 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A major chord and it sounds really, really happy. Now around A's in general, it can be kind of cool to lift off 3, make that an A suspended 2nd, or add the pinky in on the B 3rd, make that an A suspended chord. Or what you'll kind of hear is kind of that C sharp note kind of coming out in the bass. You could kind of cover that by doing first finger over the D, G, and B on the 2nd fret. It's kind of like a little bar, and then putting 3rd finger or 4th finger on the A string 4th fret for kind of an A/C sharp, or A with a C sharp in the bass. And then from there we go to an E major chord for kind of that G sharp in the bass. And then when you play E major, first finger goes to the G 1st fret, 2nd finger on the A 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the D string 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an E major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now on that E, you may want to think about lifting off the 3rd finger and making that an E7, although that's playing against the tune a little bit, but it does free you up to kind of take the pinky and go to the low E string on the 4th fret if you want to try and bring out that G sharp note. Or you could even take the whole E major and try and stretch the pinky over to get the E/G sharp. And through the tune, actually, it's almost like we start on the E/G sharp, and then we go to an E major in the bass. So through that whole intro, you've got kind of this D/F sharp idea, and then D/F sharp, and then an A/C sharp, and then an E/G sharp idea, and then an E/G sharp to an E idea. So D 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, D 2 3 4 8 2 3 4, E/G sharp, E/G sharp, E. But you could just work it as kind of a D, D, A, E, E progression as well, and just not worry about those bass notes. Let the bass player play the bass part. And so you could even kind of just work the regular chords, kind of that D, D, A, E. That's a little bit easier for you to kind of just take in. And I'm kind of just doing an 8 down count on all these chords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then kind of doing 4 on the D, A, and then going to the E for kind of an 8 and 8 idea. Or if you wanted to back this up with a strum pattern, one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So we took the D and just tried that a lot. You'd have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So we tried that. The weird part is that D and A, and you could do just a down, down, up on each of those chords. Or if you wanted to, you could half the strum pattern and have D with kind of a down, down, A on the up, down, up. Split it. So you have D, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, A, down, up, D, down, up, 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 down, up. Or something else that I like to add to a song like this too is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, down, up, you can throw in a bass note for the chord. So on the D, you'd have D for the bass, unless you're doing D/F sharp, in which case you'd have low E for the bass. And then on the A, you'd have the A for the bass, unless you're doing the A/C sharp, in which case you would still have the A for the bass. And on the E, you'd have the low E string for the bass, if you're doing the regular E major, or if you're doing the E/G sharp. So you can even kind of get that G sharp idea in there by doing kind of a bass, down up, bass, down up that last E too. So if we wanted to, we could kind of add that basses, just regular basses to it, kind of that D, D with a bass, down up, A with an A bass, E low E bass, E low E bass, or you could try and bring out that bass line in the song, F sharp, D/F sharp, A/C sharp, E/G sharp, E/G sharp, E low E bass, E/F sharp, D/F sharp, A/C sharp, E with low E bass, G sharp. So you can kind of play around with that and kind of work that. It kind of depends on whether you have a bass player or not. Or another strum pattern that I would really think about is something called a 16th note strum pattern. And what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot to the beat, right now we're dividing that beat into 2 parts with our down, down, up, down. 1, 2, 1, 2, and that's called an 8th note. What a 16th note is where we divide that into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of my favorite 16th note strum patterns is long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. And what I mean by that is if you take the D and do a down for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's what you'd be doing on the first beat. Then on the second beat, you do a down on 1, down on 3, up on 4. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. And then on the third beat, you do a up on 2, down on 3. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, up, down, 1, up, down, 1, up, down. And then on the last beat, you go down, up, right along with the 1, 2, 3. Whereas if you want half that D and A, you could do just a long down, 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 up on each of those chords. Or if you wanted to have the strum pattern, you could do the D with a down, 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 up, and then hit the A for the up, down, down, up. Kind of big on that. So we tried it that way. We'd have D, make it a bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or bass, bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or bass, bass, down, down, up, bass, down, up, down, kind of through that progression. So you have the D, bring out the bass line from the tune. D/F sharp, D/F sharp, A/C sharp, D/G sharp, D/F sharp, C sharp, D sharp, C sharp. Or if you know the licks around these chords too, feel free to kind of take this lesson and kind of embellish it or mix it up any way you want to. Through the tune too, actually randomly, if you wanted to play solos over this, and you will hear this cool little guitar solo actually that pretty much works off a 9th fret on the high E and 11th fret, or 7 and 9 actually on the high E, kind of that D to C sharp note. It's kind of like a little slide idea that you kind of hear in the background. You might want to play around with those notes. Or if you were kind of thinking about what key you were in for this tune, you're kind of starting on a D major, and then you've got an A major, and then we got an E major. And a lot of times, if you're looking at 3 major chords, whichever two are alphabetical, like next to each other in the alphabet, like the D and the E are right next to each other in the alphabet, normally the key is the other one. So even though we're kind of starting on the D and ending on the E, we're really in the key of A major. Now the weird thing is that you're going to kind of hear that almost like a E mixolydian or something. But you could kind of think about it just from A major pattern. So if you want to jam over the top of this, you could kind of start on 5th fret on the low E string, and that's where your A note is. And if you're familiar with pentatonic scales, actually, normally what you would do is line up your pinky to that, and then go back to 2nd fret on the low E string for kind of the start of pattern 1 of pentatonic. So you'd have kind of an F sharp minor pentatonic or an A major pentatonic. So your pattern 1 is going to kind of work right there, actually, through the tune. So you got kind of F sharp, A, and then a B and a C sharp, and then you got a D or an E, and then an F sharp, and then an A and a B, and then you got a C sharp, and then a D, and then you got an F sharp, and then an A note on the top. So you're really only playing F sharps and A's and B's and C sharps and E's through that scale. But if you're familiar with that, that might be kind of cool to kind of work that with hammer-on ideas, pull-off ideas, slide ideas, double stop ideas where you do 2 notes together, bends. So that might be kind of a cool thing to kind of try and add too. You could even kind of hit the chord and then hit a chord and then the E and then make up a lick. Hear how that scale would relate to the song too, because it might be kind of a cool thing. Or you could play around with an A major scale, where if you started on the low E string 5th fret, I'm kind of just using a stretch pattern for this, you'd have 5, 7, 9 on the low E string, 5, 7, 9 on the A string, 6, 7, 9 on the D string and the G string, and then 7, 9, 10 on the B string and the high E string. So kind of a 5, 7, 9, and then 6, 7, 9, and then 7, 9, 10, and then 7, 9, 10. And that's your do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do kind of an idea. Kind of working the major scale. So that might be kind of a cool scale to kind of jam over to. And that's where that 7 and 9 for the lead is kind of coming from, is out of that major scale, kind of that B, C sharp. Although it's actually those same two notes from pentatonic too. But you may want to play around with that too. Actually, some licks there too that you want to kind of back it up with. Yeah, I did. Just kind of open-ended idea there. So you want to kind of play around with that too. And you may almost want to hear it at the very, very end. But that's the basics of how you get strummed through Magic by Coldplay. So good luck!